So recently, the political Twitch streamer Hasan was invited onto the TV show Piers Morgan Uncensored, where he got into a very interesting debate that was clipped by Chloe with the caption, "The scream I scrumped."
I'm trying to imply
very patronizing.
Utilizing the hostages. Yeah, I am being patronizing. I don't know who the fuck you are, and you're over here chirping all the way from fucking London about Palestine and doing a both sides are fucking fine type bullshit where you're talking about how you want to fucking free Palestine, but also simultaneously, both sides got a lot going on. Shut the fuck up. You don't know anything, okay?
Big Chillin responds with a picture of the pink-haired guy and says, "Me when no one knows who I am." Tyler Duran21 says, "I'm glad he's talking to these people the way he talks to chat." Corey Brickley says, "Forged in the fires of arguing with teenagers 8 hours a day." Yigit says, "Him having a straight face the entire time fucking sent me. How did he not laugh at the accent?" Cowboy Winnie shows a picture of the black woman on the panel and says, "Oh, she was gagged." SBS says, "Lol, he brought the Turkish out of him." Andrea Jones says, "I could honestly watch this on a loop all day. I could meditate to this." Mike says, "He was too hard on himself regarding his performance. Every debate with 4 people or more is a clown show. No one watching is learning in this situation. It's about ritualistically humiliating your opponent." Ellie quote tweets Chloe and says, "Hearing Hasan mock a British accent, perhaps I have treated you too harshly." 697 Enthusiast responds with a Thanos meme version of the argument and says, "Hasan kinda did the Thanos meme laughing my ass off." Matt quote tweets Chloe's clip and says, "It is so cathartic to see someone on a mainstream cable news channel just come out and fucking say it." Ankasa quotes Hasan saying, "Chirping all the way from fucking London," and says, "No way to recover from that." Tyler Durian responds, "He just had to throw in the accent." Chad Not Chud responds to the Chloe clip by saying, "I take back anything negative I've ever said about Hasan." "Oh yeah, well you're British." No one has ever managed to recover from this devastating ARG. Elusifi Marco responds, "No, like genuinely. What do y'all even have against him? I've seen people say how much they dislike him, but never a reason why." Chad Not Chud responds, "I don't really follow streaming stuff, so I don't actually have a very developed opinion of him." Essie reacts to the Hasan clip by saying, "Bro really cussed him out, mocked his accent, and then told him to shut the fuck up in less than 30 seconds. I'm actually crying. I love Hasan so bad." JJ tweets out this clip from TikTok and says, "I'm sorry y'all. Hasan has been going off lately, laughing my fucking ass off."
Dissolve the apartheid regime.
So what would you like to
allow
see happen,
Palestinians,
Hasan?
Do you not understand the English language? Dissolve the apartheid regime.
Everyone wants to criticize the IDF's response, but nobody wants to tell me what should Israel be doing to retaliate October 7th, eradicate Hamas from preventing another October 7th, and bring the hostages home.
I have an idea.
Do you have a solution?
I have an idea. Do not flatten Gaza and potentially pull your own hostages up from under the rubble like have been done with thousands of Palestinians. That's a good idea. Yeah. Have you found any of them under the rubble?
So you're saying that you don't have an answer.
That is the answer.
So you
don't kill your own hostages.
But you're
how about not killing the hostages?
Very interesting.
I have an answer.
Thank you for proving my point.
It's called the dissolution of the apartheid regime. Dissolve the apartheid regime.
So what would you like to
allow
see happen,
Palestinians
Hasan?
breathing room. Do you not understand the English language? Dissolve the apartheid regime.
You need a Xanax, first of all. You need a Xanax. So should Israel do to the West Bank what they did to
Palestinians have been
Gaza?
ruthlessly slaughtered by the Israeli
Should Israel
state.
give
It makes
back
me a
the
little
land so that
upset
it can
when
turn
someone is
into another
defending that.
Gaza? Is that what you'd like to see? Another terrorist haven launching rockets all day instead of turning it to Singapore?
Wait, hold on.
What
is Singapore?
The
West
billions
Bank.
of dollars in
Hold
aid
on,
they
is the
turned
West
into
Bank
building
Singapore?
tunnels. They had a chance to rebuild, but they spent the last 15 plus years crying that they don't have enough land because there is never enough land for them instead of rebuilding
Israel
civilization.
has
Just build
not
terrorist
allowed
tunnels to keep hostages
Palestinians
in.
to have a nation state that they deserve by international law since the inception of the Israeli nation state. What you are saying is insane to me. The fact that you brought up the last 15 years as Palestinians crying is disgusting.
Oh, I have one more question.
You are a disgusting little monster who thinks that not offering contiguity to the Palestinians in the form of a state, which is under international law, is just simply Palestinians crying.
Must Be the Hero responds to this by saying, "Damn, disgusting disgusting little monster made me smile. Capri Sun Poppy tweets out this clip from Twitch streamer Asmongold's reaction to Hasan on Piers Morgan and captions it by saying, Asmon claims it's narcissistic and entitled to block the roads in protest of Palestine. It's narcissistic and entitled to sit on your ass and get mad at people trying to stop your own government from killing children. I respect Asmon, but bad take.
What gives you the unique moral authority to break the law because of what you believe in? What gives you the right to do that? Well, you don't have that right. So don't be surprised whenever people get you out of the fucking road and arrest you. It's narcissistic and entitled. That's insane. It's like these people think that the world revolves around their issue. There's thousands of issues in the world. Is Israel-Palestine the only place where bad things are happening? Look at Ukraine. No. What if everybody acted that way? The world would be chaos. You can't realistically act that way. It doesn't matter what you think is effective or not. Just because something, you don't have the right to make an effective protest based off of the rules that you invent.
KaceyTron responds by saying, I don't respect Asmon, because he has bad takes like this pretty much all the time. A deaf guy says, then how is it gonna change anything by blocking the roads? Pathetic. Asmongold reacts to Capri Sun Poppy by saying, you were not protesting for Palestine by preventing some minimum wage worker from getting to work on time. Get out of the road. Nicholas Diorio responds by saying, total Asmon domination. Nope says, as annoying as I would find people blocking the road if I was trying to get to work, blocking infrastructure and affecting society is the most effective form of protest outside of violence. Aaron responds, curious how it's never someone who actually works a minimum wage job making this argument. Gabe the Babe says, upper middle class people who believe their opinions are more important than someone's needs to feed their family is a problem, not Palestine or Israel. Chad says, could be blocking emergency services also. Hammond Cheddar says, you were not protesting against racism by preventing minimum wage workers from getting to work on time. Get to the back of the bus. Court shows old black and white protest photos and says, look at all these agitators preventing minimum wage workers from getting to work on time in Selma and Birmingham, shaking my head. Maybe if they protested in a way that was comfortable for people, they would get their point across. I don't know. Capri Sun Pappy responds, this is AI. The civil rights movement historically took place on sidewalks. Anyways, going back to Asmongold's response to Capri Sun Poppy then responds to Asmongold by saying, would you have said the same thing during the civil rights movement? Asmongold responds, what a ridiculous and self-serving oversimplification to imply the civil rights movement was successful because people stood in the street. It's very simple. Just get out of the road. Capri Sun Poppy responds, you're right. I'll tell my friends and family in Palestine only if we used the sidewalks we would be liberated. My bad, dude. This one's on me. Maddie Matt says, he still didn't answer your question, laughing my ass off. So after all of this discussion, KaceyTron tweets out, Asmongold hates himself more than what any of us ever could. Just look at the lifestyle he chooses to live as a multimillionaire. There is nothing that could be said to that disgusting man that could ever make him change his filthy, hateful, putrid ways. Just a real stinker. Smash Micah responds, what did he do? Lol. KaceyTron responds, being hateful towards people protesting a genocide because it inconveniences him when he doesn't even leave his house. XQC responds to KaceyTron by saying, money is financial freedom. Freedom is having the ability to choose what you want to do as much as possible. Why are you mad he lives the way he wants to? You have a lot of money too, yet you are overweight and choose to smoke weed all the time. Respect people's choices, lady. Art responds with this gif in the caption, bro called her a fat ass. KaceyTron responds to XQC by saying, little bro lacks basic reading comprehension. I'm not mad that he lives the way he chooses to. I'm saying he hates himself for choosing to live that way. You want to talk about my drug addiction? Worry about your Adderall abuse. XQC then responds to her with this TikTok and the caption, you got cooked. Opinion rejected.
I've been throw up the sex in
KaceyTron responds by saying, just because you have an army of 12-year-olds doesn't make you any less of a moron. If I took 200 milligrams of Adderall a day, I'd be a walking crackhead skeleton just like you, hun. Junior responds, clearly walking isn't something you do. Asmongold, who I'm just gonna call Zach from this point forward in the video, responds to KaceyTron by saying, you are fat and you spent your life smoking weed and doing drugs. If anyone's a stinker, it's you. KaceyTron then responds with this gif in the caption, anyways. Dollar Bill Blues responds, bro, you literally stink. Hip Pippin says, Asmon, I love your content, I really do. But you used a dead rat as an alarm clock when it got too stinky. Come on, man. The Worm says, out of all the languages in the world, this man chose to speak facts. Oofy TV says, to be honest, I don't even see her point. She just wants to content farm off your name. Agent quote tweets Asmongold with a picture of his room and the caption, this is so ironic it's insane. Asmongold's room. And then they obviously show through the picture just how messy it really is. There's literally a sea of plastic cups on one of the tables, so yeah. Agent even continues going in on Asmongold by making this into a thread and saying, Asmongold has a messy ass room. Wiped the blood on his teeth onto the wall next to his bed. Had roaches crawl on him while he was gaming. Shat himself before and rarely showers. They then tweet out this image of Hitler versus Stalin and says, KaceyTron versus Asmongold. Omni quote tweets what KaceyTron said about Asmongold and says, so what you were saying is that Asmongold is filthy rich. KaceyTron continues to tweet about this situation when she says, not XQC and Asmongold both calling me fat today. Necro responds by saying, I love how he included weed as if it's bad at all. Goblin says, oh, they would hate me so fucking much. Wiz says, that's what you are though, lol. Gabriel McCann says, playing the victim over something you started is pretty pathetic. Enjoy the engagement farming and doormat boys agreeing with you. KaceyTron then makes another tweet about the situation when she says, I think that XQC is insanely jealous of Miskiff. It's no secret to anyone that there is a rivalry there, and Miskiff's content is better than XQC's in every way. XQC knows this deep down as well. I say this as someone who thinks Miskiff is fake as fuck. Miskiff started a gym, is motivating people in positive ways, and doing podcasts with Pokimane. Meanwhile, XQC is being a gambling degenerate in Miami with Aiden Ross. I think XQC needs to let go of his resentment for Miskiff and step up his content. XQC Reviews responds by saying, I think that KaceyTron is insanely jealous of Pokimane. It's no secret to anyone that there is a rivalry there, and Pokimane's content is better than KaceyTron's in every way. KaceyTron knows this deep down as well. I say this as someone who thinks Pokimane is fake as fuck. Slicker responds to KaceyTron by saying, more like you're the jealous bitch. KaceyTron responds, are you still mad that I didn't give you $500 when you tried to scam me and to feed your crippling gambling addiction? Slicker responds, a tweet talking about my past? Very original. King Kenby responds, as if you wouldn't. Turkey Tom shows XQC's reaction to KaceyTron's tweet about Asmongold and says, XQC destroyed KaceyTron. I Hypocrite says, it's good to criticize both people who live in filth and fat potheads. Nicholas Diorio says, Asmongold hates himself, is multimillionaire. KaceyTron hates herself, hated by her peers. Who is KaceyTron? Everyone else is poor. XQC Reviews tweets out this clip with the caption, XQC fully agrees with Asmongold's take, that blocking the roads in protest of Palestine is a sign of entitlement. Most people that are trying to go to work that don't know about politics, well, it's now fuck your movement.
That's
in my opinion, it causes more damage. Most people that are in the streets in their car trying to get to work, and if they're like on the edge, they don't really know much about politics, they're just trying to make meets end, they just trying to work like a low-paying job, stuck in traffic, and they're like kind of in the middle of this conflict they don't really know much about, and they see a bunch of people with flags that are sitting down them and they can't get to work, and they lose money, and they won't be able to make ends meet and feed their family because they can't get to work. What do you think these guys are going to think? I don't give a fuck. Now at that point, I'm gonna be honest with you. Fuck your movement. Like, fuck y'all in the streets. And that's not what I think. What people are thinking in the middle of the street. They're like, I don't even know about this conflict, but now I'm biased against you guys because you're fucking my life over, you morons. And that's just how humans react to things.
John Lewis responds, someone tell him that's the definition of a protest. Jana Park says, neither of them have a real job where they leave the house, so their opinion doesn't matter. Azihara says, rare XQCW. The average person is worried about their day to day, and not some shit that's happening 5,000 miles away. Blades Bladder says, Zionist take. Capri Sun Pappy quote tweets XQC reviews and says, just say you hate Arabs and I'd respect you more. Jacob the Ross responds with this Cooley Bravo tweet that says, Twitter's the only place where well-articulated sentences still get misinterpreted. You can say, I like pancakes, and somebody will say, so you hate waffles? No, bitch! That's a whole new sentence. What the fuck you talking about? Prezzo says, I don't know. If Asmongold whining and crying over people protesting in the streets for Palestine, then maybe it's working a little. Adu responds, I don't know if all publicity is good publicity works on large-scale geopolitical issues. Prezzo responds, the whole point is to cause some disturbance and get people thinking. If he has some shit to say about it, then a bunch of people are finally hearing about it. Many Asmon viewers' main source of info is Asmon. Most people realize that protesting in the streets has been a thing. Destiny tweets out this picture of KaceyTron and says, Asmongold is so fucking gross and filthy. I can't believe someone making so much money would choose to live such a disgusting life. Doubleshine then shows another picture of her and says, images you can smell. Leon Lush says, the audacity to be rich and play video games in a white tee instead of buying and flexing material bullshit that means nothing. KaceyTron responds to Destiny by saying, I cannot seem to shake this pedophile. He has been obsessed with me ever since I was too busy to meet his creepy ass in 2015. I've blocked him on every platform, but he still desperately tries to get my attention. What do I do? Hashtag cult, hashtag Zionism, hashtag predator. Killer Clown 4191 says, stay away from drugs, kids. This is what happens in the long term. You develop depression and split personality. KaceyTron responds, I know, he should really get off the meth. Anna Bunny says, he went off the deep end after his wife left him for another dude and took the kid. Gemzar shows this picture of KaceyTron with Destiny living inside her head and her saying, the gnome in my head is obsessed with me. He won't leave me alone. And that's about it for the discussion around all of this from Hasan and Asmongold and KaceyTron. And now I want to hear from you guys. What's your opinion on all of this? Any opinion is welcome in the comment section below. I know the discussion down there might get pretty spicy due to the political aspects involved in this, so even if you heavily disagree with someone, I encourage you to just be civil, because then you might get a more fruitful conversation in the comments, rather than just spurging out and calling someone like a libtard or a Nazi. But regardless, I just want to hear your opinion. That was the point of me saying all that. If you liked the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe with notifications on if you want to see more Twitter drama, check out my live stream channel Mayo Monkey if you want to see more personality-based streams. And with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in another one.